Hi everyone, thanks for joining me again today. And again, my name is Julia Bendis. I'm a matchmaker, a dating relationship coach. My website is matchbyjulia.com. For those of you that are tuning in the first time, please subscribe and so you never miss a video. And I want to talk to you today about some more online dating etiquette, or at least dating in general. Maybe not necessarily online dating, just in general. I'm noticing a lot of people complaining about this specific item while dating. People that are taking too long to respond. So let's say you meet someone online on your own, through a matchmaker, through a friend, whatever it is, and there's a big gap of time when you message them or text them, however you're talking, and from the time you message them to the time when they get back to you. So they're just taking forever to respond. And we all understand we're busy, but when you're beginning a relationship, when you're in the very first stages and you take forever to respond, it could be an hour. I've heard anywhere from an hour to a day. People are going to lose interest when you take that long to respond. And it tells us two things. One, you're not that interested. Or two, you are messaging with other people. You're just kind of weighing your options. And it could be, there could be a third. It could be that you're just super busy and you don't know how to manage your time, which is kind of, it's highly unlikely. When you're into someone, when you're interested, you will make the time. We all make the time when we want to, right? When we're interested. So, I'm hearing a lot that I message her or I message him and then an hour goes by, nothing. Well, that's understandable. But when it's been 4 hours, 5 hours, a day, or 2 days, and then, oh, I'm so sorry, I had too many meetings, I had too many calls, I was really busy, or, my favorite excuse of all is, I'm just not on the phone that much. Really, bullshit. Because when you're online dating, or when you're trying to date people, and you're actually in this process, you're going to do everything you can to talk to that person, to be there, to communicate with them. So that's really kind of a BS excuse. And you shouldn't even be dating and out there putting yourself out there if you're not going to take the time to respond and respond in a timely manner. So that just shows people that you're not interested. So like I said, it's disrespectful, it's rude, and you shouldn't even be dating if you're going to take hours to respond or days. And most important thing is to go from messaging to talking to meeting. So those are the 3 steps that you should follow. Start messaging, texting, whatever it is. Then you need to talk as soon as possible. Number 1, you need to make sure it's a real person. Number 1. Number 2, you need to see the connection you have on the phone, the chemistry you have on the phone, or lack of it, and then meet. You can't just go from messaging back and forth to meeting in person, or you shouldn't do that. I know people do that these days, and maybe younger people do that more, but that's not right. You shouldn't be doing that. You need to develop a relationship, like I've talked about in all my videos. You need to develop some form of communication first before you meet them. So my advice, if you are taking forever to respond, stop, because that person is no longer going to be interested if this continues, and they're going to move on to someone else. I guarantee it. So taking forever to respond is not going to get you anywhere. So that is the biggest thing that I see that is happening, and the complaints that people have. If it goes the same if I introduce you to someone and I tell you connect with them and we set up the date, but before the date, I always want you to connect with your potential match first, on the phone, by phone, talking, not texting. And if you take forever, let's say your date is in 4 days and you don't call them till, an hour before your date, that's not okay. That is completely against everything that I talk about. You need to call them at least a day before, if not 2 days before. Have a conversation, break the ice, get to know each other before you meet them. It's very awkward to go from just messaging to meeting in person, or completely not talking before if you're meeting through a matchmaker, and then showing up in person. It's awkward. For some people, it's more awkward than others. For people that are very outgoing, like myself, that's not that big of a deal. But for others, it's very awkward. You need to develop some kind of a communication beforehand. So those are my biggest tips to people. Don't take forever messaging back and replying, because those people will lose interest, I guarantee it, and move on. Or if you're juggling 2 or 3 different people, you need to stop. You have to take one person at a time. You can't be juggling 2 or 3 or 4 different people and comparing them to each other. That's why you're still single, and that's why you're gonna continue being single, is because it's not to your benefit to be dating 2 or 3 different people at a time. It's not. I've seen it over and over again. That's why I only go one person at a time with my clients, because it doesn't help anyone when you're sitting there comparing Joe to, Rick to whoever else. I don't know why I can't think of any names right now, but, Steve, Kevin, whatever. It doesn't help you. It actually hurts you, because grass is always greener, and you're going to be comparing, forever. Well, Steve did this, but Jack did this, and even though he was cuter, he talked less, and you're just gonna go back and forth, and you're gonna make yourself crazy. So one person at a time. Don't take too long to reply. Don't juggle multiple people. And if you're working with me or with a matchmaker, have the respect for me and for your potential match to contact them as soon as I give you their information. I'm not saying within the 5 minutes of me sending you their information or giving you their information, but that day, the next day, don't do it at the last minute, because that's wrong. And I'm not going to give you any more matches if you're going to act like that. So it's just, don't be a child, So that's kind of what I want to talk to you about. I hope that helps. So again, matchbyjulia.com, and thank you for joining me, and come back again for the next video. Thank you guys.